You think you know this place, your city, your turf. You walk these streets every single day, don't you? Same old buildings, same old routines, same old faces maybe. But do you really truly see it anymore? Or has it all just faded into the background? Become a dull, predictable blur on your relentless journey to somewhere else, somewhere supposedly more important. It's easy to let that happen. Too easy. It's time for a wake-up call, a serious jolt to the system, a brand new, different kind of perspective. Imagine for a moment you're a complete stranger here, fresh off the plane or the bus or whatever brought you. No baggage of preconceived notions, just wide, curious eyes and probably an empty stomach, right? What wonders would you discover then? What hidden mysteries lie concealed in plain sight, waiting? This isn't merely about playing tourist. It's about becoming an explorer. Forget your well-worn routine for a day. Ditch that commute autopilot that guides your every step. Today, your city transforms. It becomes a foreign land, brimming with potential adventures, full of stories that have never been told, at least not to you. Every single street corner could be the start of a new discovery. Every overlooked alleyway, a secret path to something utterly unexpected. The mundane? We're kicking it straight to the curb. This is your mission, should you choose to accept it. So, go on, grab your curiosity. Don't forget to pack your sense of wonder. We're about to embark on a trip, not very far, geographically speaking, maybe just around the block or across town. But this time we're genuinely looking. Really, truly looking. Your city is whispering its secrets, its hidden truths. Are you finally ready to listen? Let's start peeling back those familiar layers. Let's go out and actively find the extraordinary hidden within the ordinary. Your adventure starts now. How do you actually flip that mental switch? Go from being a jaded, seen-it-all local to an eager, wide-eyed explorer? It all begins with a conscious intent. You have to decide actively to be a tourist, just for a day, or maybe just for an afternoon. No self-judgments allowed. No weary sighs of, I've seen it all before, because today you haven't. Today everything is new, everything is a fresh possibility. This mindset shift is absolutely key. Tourists, you see, they ask questions. They look up at the buildings, not just at their phones. They take photographs of things that most locals completely ignore. That weird, slightly creepy gargoyle perched on the old bank building downtown. You've probably walked past it 1,000 times without a second glance. Today you notice it. You find yourself wondering about its unique story. Who took the time to carve it? Why exactly is it there, layering down? This newfound curiosity is your compass. Let it guide your steps. Lose the rigid agenda. Or at the very least, loosen its grip considerably. Real tourists, the good ones, they wander. They allow themselves to get a little lost. And sometimes, that's precisely where the genuine magic happens. Stumble down an unfamiliar side street. Pop into that quirky little shop you've never dared to enter before. Let serendipity be your trusted co-pilot for the day. The very best discoveries are often the ones that are completely unplanned. A happy, unexpected accident. Embrace the vast beckoning unknown. Deliberately try something different. If you always, without fail, turn left at that corner, today turn right. If you always rely on the bus to get around, try walking for a change. Or perhaps cycling. Or what about that weird little ferry boat you've seen chugging across the water but never actually ridden? New routes inevitably lead to new perspectives. It's all about thoroughly shaking up the familiar, seeing your everyday world as if for the very first time. Every city on this planet has its icons. The big, famous stuff. The kind of stuff you see plastered on all the postcards. That's fine, I guess. But we're not here for that today. We're digging deeper, much deeper. We're on the hunt for those special places that don't ever make it into the glossy tourist brochures. The spots whispered about quietly by those who are truly in the know. The true, beating heart of a place often pulses strongest in these hidden, unassuming corners. These are the treasures we seek. Think small, really small. A tiny, vibrant community garden, improbably tucked away between towering, indifferent skyscrapers. A wonderfully quirky independent bookstore, probably run by a true unforgettable character. That little almost forgotten museum dedicated to something wonderfully obscure and fascinating. These kinds of places possess soul. They have genuine stories to tell. They haven't been overly polished and neatly packaged for mass consumption by the tourist hordes. They are raw, they are wonderfully real. Look for the unofficial landmarks. The vibrant street art that changes almost weekly, a fleeting urban canvas. The old faded ghost signs slowly disappearing on weathered brick walls, whispering of businesses long gone. The particular park bench where local philosophers and dreamers gather to solve the world's problems. These things aren't listed in any official guidebook, but they tell you far more about your city's authentic pulse than any grand sterile monument ever could. Keep your eyes peeled. They're everywhere, hiding in plain sight. Ask around. Don't be shy. Talk to the old-timer nursing a coffee at the corner shop, the friendly, seen-it-all bartender at the local dive, the passionate artists selling their unique wares on the street corner. Ask them, what's your absolute favorite spot around here? Something I probably wouldn't know about? People you'll find often love to share their little secrets, their own special piece of the city. You'll be genuinely surprised and delighted by what you manage to uncover. What about all those places you know, or at least think you know? The park you jog through almost every morning without a thought. The main city square you hurriedly cross on your way to work. That imposing historic building you barely even glance at anymore is just part of the scenery. Even these deeply familiar spots can offer up brand new surprises. If you just make the effort to look a little closer, if you consciously change your angle, if you start asking different kinds of questions. Take that old, weathered statue standing in the middle of the square. You know it's there, of course, but do you actually know who it's supposed to be? Why it was even erected in the first place? What significant historical events has it silently witnessed over the decades or even centuries? A quick search on your phone, right there on the spot, can unlock fascinating layers of forgotten history. Suddenly, it's no longer just a piece of bronze. It's a silent storyteller, a tangible link to the city's vibrant past. I remember this one particular dive bar, a place I'd probably been to 100 times over the years. Same sticky floors, same perpetually grumpy but secretly kind bartender. Then, one day, for some reason, I actually at the old photographs hanging crookedly on the grimy walls. Black and white pictures of the surrounding neighborhood from decades and decades ago. And the bar, it was there, even then, looking almost the same. Suddenly, it wasn't just a bar anymore. It was a living, breathing time capsule. Try visiting your usual haunts at a completely different time of day. Your normally bustling lunch spot? See what it's like for an early, quiet breakfast. The silent, studious library? Check out its atmosphere on a busy Saturday afternoon. The quality of the light changes dramatically. The type of crowd is different. The whole entire vibe of the place shifts. It's very much like seeing an old dear friend in a completely new and unexpected light, uncovering a previously hidden side to their familiar personality. The gear and the game plan, your urban expedition kit. You really don't need a whole lot of specialized equipment for this urban safari. No pith helmet is required, thankfully, but a few carefully chosen key things can certainly make your day of exploration significantly smoother and definitely more enjoyable. First up, and this is crucial, comfortable shoes. This particular item is absolutely non-negotiable. You'll be on your feet a lot, pounding the unforgiving pavement, exploring all sorts of nooks and crannies. Remember, happy feet make for a happy explorer. A map can be your very best friend out there. An old school paper map if you're feeling particularly retro and adventurous. Or more likely, your trusty smartphone with its mapping apps. Mark a few potential points of interest before you head out. But please don't become a complete slave to it. Think of it as a helpful guide, not a strict, unyielding dictator. Be fully prepared to deviate from the plan, to follow your nose, or a strange, intriguing sound, or even an interesting-looking stray cat. Pack light, but pack smart. Water is absolutely essential. Stay hydrated. A small, simple notebook and a pen, perfect for jotting down random observations, or the name of that amazing little hidden bakery you just stumbled upon. A portable charger for your phone is a very good idea. especially if you're relying on it heavily for maps, photos, and looking up interesting facts. Maybe pack a small energy-boosting snack too, just in case hunger unexpectedly strikes during your adventure. Transportation. This is a key consideration. How will you choose to navigate your concrete jungle today? Walking, without a doubt, is a king for those delightful micro-discoveries. But utilizing public transport can also be an adventure in itself. See the city unfold like a true local commuter does. Or perhaps rent a bike for a few hours. Feel the wind in your hair as you pedal through different neighborhoods. Each mode of transport offers its own unique rhythm, a distinctly different way to experience the city's urban flow. Fueling the adventure, the local grub. Exploration, let's be honest, burns a significant amount of calories. That's just a scientific fact. And what better, more enjoyable way to refuel your body than by diving headfirst with gusto into the diverse local food scene? Now, I'm not necessarily talking about those super fancy Michelin-starred palaces of high gastronomy. Though, hey, if that's your city's particular specialty, then by all means, go for it. I'm talking more about the real stuff, the kind of food that genuinely tells a story about a place. Every single city has its legendary cheap eats. You know the kind of places I mean? The ones that have been around seemingly forever. Often run by the exact same family for multiple generations. They might not look like much at all from the outside. Perhaps they have formica tables, maybe some faded dog-eared menus. But the food? Oh, the food they serve. That's precisely where the true, unadulterated magic is. Honest, unpretentious, and most importantly, incredibly delicious. Seek out those beloved neighborhood joints, the unassuming places where the actual locals patiently line up, day in and day out. The small bakery that has a queue snaking out the door, right at the crack of dawn. The unassuming taco truck that has somehow amassed a devoted cult following. The tiny, no-frills dumpling shop that only makes one single thing, but they make it absolutely, undeniably, perfectly. These are the true culinary heartbeats of your city. Follow the knowledgeable crowds. They usually know something good. Don't ever be afraid to try something new, something completely different, something you've perhaps always seen listed on a local menu, but never quite dared to order before. Ask the staff for their personal recommendations. What's particularly good here? What's good, the thing you always eat? Engage with the hard-working people who are actually making your food. Listen to them talk about it. Hear their passion. Food, after all, is a universal language, and you're here today to become more fluent. Iconic dishes, local secrets, what to eat and where. Every city, every town firmly believes its own, insert specific local specialty here, is unequivocally the best in the world. Maybe in your city it's the pizza with its unique crust or secret sauce. Perhaps it's the bagels, chewy and perfect. Or the slow-cooked barbecue that people argue passionately about. It could even be some weirdly specific, locally famous sandwich. You know exactly what I'm talking about, don't you? That one single dish that truly defines your town's entire culinary identity. Today, you're on a dedicated quest for the ultimate version, the one the true locals swear by. But here's the crucial thing to remember. The most famous place, the one with all the hype, isn't always the place. Sometimes it is, sure, but often it's just coasting along on an old reputation. The real culinary gold might actually be found a few blocks away, in a spot with less glitz, but a lot more authentic grit. If you want the real scoop, ask a firefighter, ask a cab driver. They know all the late night spots. Ask the guy who delivers the mail to all the businesses. They know. They always know the truly good spots. I once embarked on a hunt for the perfect hot dog in a city that was absolutely famed for them. I deliberately ignored all the obvious tourist traps with their inflated prices. Instead, I found this tiny, unassuming cart on a quiet street corner. It was run by a great guy named Sal, who'd been standing right there, serving those dogs for over 40 long years. The satisfying snap of the casing, the perfectly steamed soft bun, the onions chopped just so. It wasn't just a hot dog, it was a delicious piece of the city's history. served up with a generous side of Sal's amazing stories. And remember, it's not just about the main course, the big ticket items. What about the local bakery's signature, can't miss pastry? Or the surprisingly good hearty chili served up at that smoky dive bar? Or that wonderfully quirky, locally invented ice cream flavor you can't find anywhere else on earth? These are the delicious, edible footnotes that make your city's unique food story so rich and compelling. Go out there and find them. Make sure you taste them. And above all, truly savor them. Stories from the streets, connecting with your city. A city, when you really think about it, isn't just a collection of buildings and streets and parks. It's people. It's their countless individual stories. It's their collective energy. It's the rhythm of their daily lives. When you make the effort to explore your surroundings like a curious tourist, you create so many more opportunities to genuinely connect, to observe more keenly, to listen more attentively. The vital human element is what truly breathes life into all the surrounding concrete and steel. Don't just passively look, actively see, strike up a casual conversation with the friendly shopkeeper in that little store you just discovered, with the person sitting quietly next to you on the park bench, enjoying the sunshine, with the talented street musician pouring their heart out for a few coins. You don't need a big, complicated reason to connect. A simple, honest comment about the current weather, a polite question about the book they're engrossed in. People, more often than not, are generally quite willing to share a brief moment, a fleeting thought, a little piece of their day. I consistently find that the very best, most memorable stories often come from the most unexpected, serendipitous encounters. The elderly woman diligently tending her tiny, vibrant window box garden, creating beauty in a small space. The group of kids completely absorbed in playing a complex game with rules I couldn't even begin to decipher. The passionate street artist taking a moment to explain the deep meaning behind their latest colorful mural. These spontaneous interactions add rich color and fascinating texture to your city's unfolding urban tapestry. They make the city feel undeniably alive. These connections, however brief or seemingly insignificant they might feel at the time, fundamentally change your relationship with a place. It's no longer just city in a possessive sense. It becomes city, a dynamic shared space, full of countless individual narratives that intricately weave together to create a much larger, more complex story. And by engaging in this way, you're not just an outside observer anymore. You become an active part of that ongoing story too, a more engaged, more aware, more connected part. The takeaway: your city, your story. So, you've walked the many miles, you've tasted the interesting and hopefully delicious food, you've successfully managed to see all the familiar sights with brand new, appreciative eyes. What happens now? Hopefully, you're feeling a little bit tired from all the walking, perhaps a little bit full from all the eating, and most importantly, a whole lot more in love with this complicated, fascinating place you currently call home. This city that you thought you knew so well. But now you know it a little bit better, a little bit deeper. This whole experience, this tourist mindset, it isn't meant to be just a one-time thing. You can choose to tap back into it anytime you want. The very next time you find yourself with a free afternoon and nothing planned. The next time you're feeling utterly bored with your usual predictable routine. There's always more to discover out there. More hidden gems waiting to be found. More untold stories lingering in the air. More delicious greasy spoon diners just waiting to welcome you in. The adventure doesn't ever have to end. Make a conscious effort to appreciate all the beauty around you. The deep history embedded in the old stones. The delightful weirdness that gives your city its unique character. All of it. It's right there, practically in your own neighborhood. Often it's right under your very nose. You just have to remember to look for it. To remain curious, to actively engage with your surroundings. Your city is a living, breathing, dynamic thing. It's constantly changing, it's perpetually evolving. There's always a new chapter to explore. Go out there, be a dedicated explorer in your own familiar backyard. Start writing your own unique urban legend, one discovery at a time. Find your own secret spots, your own special haunts. Your city isn't just some random place where you happen to live. It's a place that you have the privilege to discover, over and over and over again. And that, my friends, is a truly beautiful and enriching thing. Now, what on earth are you waiting for? The streets are calling out your name.